What's up folks, it's Fuzzy here. Today we're going to be doing another custom tactics video. We're going to take a look at the 4-3-2-1. Bit of a different formation. For quite a long time last year it wasn't really popular at all, and then it kind of got into the meta, I'd say around the middle of the year, and it's definitely at that point again. At this stage of the year, it's kind of like the game is... The patches are coming out, it's changing the game a little bit here and there. It's arguably not as fun to play anymore. But this formation can spice things up a bit. I found it to be very attacking, but it's not over the top pressing. I know a lot of my custom tactics recently have been all about the press after possession, all that kind of thing. That doesn't suit everyone, but this one is a bit more balanced, but still more attacking and defensive, and you should enjoy it. If you do, please do leave a like rating on the video. Let me know you're enjoying it. It helps with the algorithm, all that good stuff. And if you're new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're getting on the push to try and hit 1,000 subscribers, trying to get onto the YouTube partner program. So all help with that is greatly appreciated. And when I'm recording this, Icon Swaps 2 Batch 1 is close to finishing. We're expecting that Monday on 6 PM we will get Batch 2 swaps for that. If we do, I'll have a video out very shortly after they go live explaining the fastest way to do them. So if it's after that threshold now and they're out and you need to find out the fastest way, this is the team I use for it. I'll detail the personnel in a little bit, but it's not the best personnel you could have for it, but it still worked fantastic for me. So I was getting results with it as this, and you could do even better. So over on the tactics side of things, we are using balanced. I think I've used press after possession loss for 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks now. So I tried to do something different. I initially tried drop back on a 4-2-2, didn't work for me. Went balanced. Here for the 4-3-2-1, going for 60 depth, so not the crazy 70 or 80s we've been going with, but I'd say a bit more reasonable depth that you should be able to play with at 60. With this 45, I think this is kind of the sweet spot for all 4 of the back systems. Between 40 and 50, I find 45 to be the best. On the build up, we're doing long balls and forward runs, which is a combination of long ball and forward runs, and fast build up and forward runs is kind of the best in the game at the minute. Attacking wise, we're going to spread the width a bit at 55. You'll see the instructions. We're going to have wing backs going forward, and because it's a striker and a left forward and right forward, you don't necessarily want them to get too tight. They can get don't want to do that. You don't want them to get too tight. You don't want them to get sort of clumped on top of each other. So this can help with it. And then 4 players in box, and 1 on corners and free kicks. This is just to stop counter attacks really when you have free kicks and corners. I'm starting to test it on 2 and 2, but for now we're still running 1 and 1. Layout wise, this is how we're setting up. So the back 4 is very typical. Spinazzola on the right back and Salty left back. We do have 2 sort of defensive players. Lucas Ferreira is our main DM. I would say I would now be upgrading him to Tonali, which would work even better. And then you want a box to box. I think Milinkovic Savic is one of the best box to boxes in the game this year. He does have the high medium work rates, but his defensive stats and physicality just sort of makes up for that. The other spot in the midfield, you kind of want an attacking centre mid or a cam player. That's essentially how they're going to play them. So I use Brahim for this. And then where I'm saying the personnel for me wasn't as ideal. Obviously, Tammy's striker, that's perfectly fine. But I have Mkhitaryan and Puskas as my left and right forward. They're not the fastest. They both require a hunt run to get the pace up. I would say if you can have a winger who's like base pace is closer to 99s, like think of like Vinicius Jr., that flashback Neymar, or even Mbappe playing here, because obviously he's a striker, he's very high paced, he can play out wide. That's kind of where you want to be on these right forward and left forward. Mkhitaryan still did a great job. Puskas, you could kind of feel the drop off, and I also trusted Mkhitaryan at the centre mid spot. Brahim's currently sat in, and he worked fantastic there. So that's a bit of an idea on the personnel for you. That's what you want to run. And then over on the instructions, the keeper was balanced. As I say, it's personal preference. You can run comes across as sweeper keeper. I do sometimes. It just really depends if I decide to turn them on. Consigli on the comes acrosses and sweeper keeper is very good. I do think it's keeper dependent too. If you have someone who is cautious for crosses traits, definitely put them on comes for crosses. It kind of forces them to come to it regardless. It means you're not maybe going to get sort of caught out on those, if I say crosses where people score headers. And the centre backs, as you expect, they're fully default. Nothing changes there. The left back is on join the attack, overlap and step up, and it's the same for the right back. And this is probably where I'd say this is a very uncommon thing to see on a system like this, especially a 4 at the back, when you don't have a defensive mid at all in regards to like actually positioning, because these guys are all central mids. Join the attack, overlap, and step up. You'll see why in a second with the other instructions, but this got my fullbacks involved a great deal, but they still came back and recovered, which is great. And then with Tierra, who's going to be our main DM, he's dropped between defenders and cover center. I'm looking for Savage to stay back, stay on edge of box across, and cover center. So this is why we can get these fullbacks to go up, because we do have someone going to stay back and someone who's going to cover center. Now the argument can be made, you still have the same amount of people staying back. But if you did this system with the fullbacks on stay back, and you're getting the centre mids forward, one, it creates a huge gap between the team, and you can get punished for that. And there's not a lot of wide options for you. So this setup really tries to help with that. We do have gameplay after I've made explanations as well to try and showcase this to you guys, but I kind of just went with these. I know I was trying to find that formation. The drop back 4-2-2 didn't work. I was like, okay, let's try this. It used to work well for me. We'll see again. Yeah, I found a lot of success. I'm going to try other formations now that are forward at the back with these fullback setups and see what can be done, because I feel like it fits the meta really well right now, and Ansaldi is like perfect for it. And my plan is to get Cafu once second batch of swaps is out, so I think a Cafu and a Saladi darting up and down the pitch could be great. Now I was saying the other centre mid is more attacking, where Brahim's playing, and that's get forward and get into the box for crosses. So Mkhitaryan can play here. I would say these are two great examples of what you want in this position. Essentially, you want a minimum of 4-star, 4-star. You want medium, or high attacking, medium defensive work rates here. High can work too, but I find medium, high, medium to be the best. And you want them to get forward, get into the box for cross. Mkhitaryan for me is the perfect person for him, but I played him right forward to get him more involved. But that's sort of your idea position wise. Then your left forward is just getting behind, right forward is also just getting behind, and your strikers stay central and stay forward. This case, with how Tammy is, I'm using him as a bit of a target man to sort of hold up play. But what you want to use Tammy and like Brahim. I'm willing to be Savage when you can to work passes to then get through balls to Mkhitaryan and Puskas. And with how they work, they can split the centre back and the full back really well. So that is everything you need to know on the instructions wise. So if that's all you came for, you can now tune out. Thank you very much for watching. But I'm going to flick onto some of my gameplay I caught with this formation, just to give you guys a bit of an example. Okay, so the goal that's going to come up in here is before the team actually changes, because I started in a different formation for chemistry and then I changed into the 4-3-1-2. So this goal is sort of before this change happens, and now the changes happened. You can see how the team lines up. Now, I pulled one player right here, and this is something to be aware of. If you pull this guy out and get aggressive, you obviously have two centre mids are a bit wider, and you get open in this middle spot. Just something to be aware of for kickoffs. But this is a great example of how easy it can be to score goals in this system if you get the link-up play right. You can kind of see straight away Mkhitaryan and Puskas are that little bit wider, but as they advance further up the pitch, they will get a little bit more narrow and penetrate the centre back and the right back, or centre back and the left back gaps. And we just watch this goal unfold for you. Obviously, we're playing with Terrera here, who is technically our DM, and I'm aware of this, so I tried to pass the ball off somewhere else. Spinazzola, so you can see the fullback straight away getting up. You can see just beside this 30 mark, you can kind of see that's one centre back, that's another centre back. So obviously we're very wide, but then this is where Terrera and Milinkovic Savage are. So they're essentially, the centre backs push out a little bit wider to cover that space, and then obviously you've got two players covering middle, and Saladi is beside my 30 there. So he's obviously getting forward, and Spinazzola's on the ball. It's a nice little chip into Abraham, and it's just an absolutely beautiful goal. We'll watch that again, because this is the big man's got 5-star skills. He can score for fun, and you get these opportunities quite a lot. Very similar to the 5-2-1-2, I'd say, which is last week's video. There'll be a link down below if you want. The sort of goal opportunities you can have. Again, obviously, Terrera is my defensive midfielder in this system, because he's the central of the three centre mids. You can very easily win the ball back with him at the very start of the kickoff. And you see again the sort of runs that Puskas is ready to make. Very nice. See it by Mendy. That's just no idea of the sort of attacking opportunities you can get. So we're not playing press after possession loss or anything like that. We're just playing the balanced, and we've got long ball and forward run. So you can see that Puskas was straight away, okay, I want to make this forward run for you. I didn't press L1 at all there. He just kept making the run. Very nice way to get into the space. Okay, so we're on to the second gameplay here. This does have a showcase of where if you can transition from the likes of a 5-2-1-2 to this fullback, where you can be let down defensively, and you just need to be a bit aware of it. I think it's good to also show, also showing the pros about the formation. I want to also show the cons of the things you have to get a bit more used to with it. I'm just gonna show you guys the first goal that happened in this game, and you can appreciate I'll say the chaos of it. I don't know what he was thinking here. Obviously, I've tripped the ball through. It should be very simple to go back to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper gets it, and Tammy just nips in. Nothing to do with the formation, just thought you'd appreciate seeing that. I want to show a little bit of a defensive transition here that led to an opportunity. Just going to let it play out. Don't need to commentate over it really. that gives you an idea. Obviously, we've had the corner. It's give you a bit of an idea of the defensive shape. I'll say we didn't score from this opportunity, and we really should have. You'll see the opportunity, but we have Spinazzola play out wide to Mkhitaryan, who your right forward and left forward are happy to drop deeper in those situations. Tammy makes a great run. You can see here the left forward makes a great position. Puskas, I don't think he would hit the target with that. It could be my finishing, but you really like a good idea of how the build up can be. How the right forward and left forward are happy to at least have one drop deep, receive the ball. Striker will still make those runs, and then it gives space for the other forward to get into. So here you can see defensively, I have pulled Saldi out, who was my right back. So you got centre back, and left back. I have Defree and Luis Felipe, who were absolute rocks for me in this system. So Saldi wins the ball back, take a little bit of time with him, and I want to work with the Mkhitaryan here at right forward. You can kind of see the offensive shape, how, like, although Mkhitaryan's went out wide, Puskas, rather than being at the edge of the box, like a lot of times you'd have a winger here, and striker here. Positionally, they are that little bit tighter, which I do like for build-up play. We lose the ball, and we win it back with Saldi quite nicely. Little chip through to Mkhitaryan, really nice run. Can't remember. Very lucky to keep that inbounds and then score. It's an idea of, although we're not having press after possession loss, it is balanced, but the team do win the ball back nicely. I think it's just how the shape is with 3 centre mids with tighter forwards, and then the space for the fullbacks to step up on the instructions that we have. This is a prime example of how you can get burnt in this formation. As I said, I don't want to show you one of the conceding opportunity ways you concede. We lose the ball with Milinkovic-Savic there. As you can see, Torreira is still holding the position, so we still have 5 people back here. You can see the bottom. We've still got the back line, and Torreira's there. He had been dropping between the defenders. He's still in the space, and Milinkovic-Savic was the other stay back who lost the ball. I did pull the centre back a little bit, so it is my fault on that. I'm usually used to having another 2 here to cover him. In this case, I only had the 1, so there's normally used to having 3 centre backs rather than 2, and I can normally pull one like that and still recover. Obviously, I've pulled one out here, and it gives a lot of space for Mbappe, who's just quick. That's a good finish from him. But just an idea, if you aren't used to running a 4-back, or even in general defensively, if you do pull someone in this formation, with how the fullbacks are more eager to get forward, you can get burnt like that in some situations. There's a little bit of pinball in the midfield here, but again, just to give an idea of shape, you can see how the strikers are, the 3 forwards. You can see the back line, that's on Saldi there, 2 centre backs, my other fullback, and then these are the 3 centre mids. Just an idea for defensive shape for you. We win the ball back, get it through into Brahim, and then this is a really nicely worked goal. So really with these forwards, you want to do a lot of like L1 passes or little chip balls through, and then also finding the space out to Spinazzola. You can see here Spinazzola's making the run. I tried to give him a lot of time for that. Now in this game, I had been pushing the ball out for Spinazzola, and this is what this formation allows you to do. In here in this build up straight away, you can see Ansaldi that top right is eager to make. Well, can you see Ansaldi in the top right? Hold on. If I do full screen, Ansaldi in the top right, you can see him there. Spinazzola here in the bottom left. I'm going to go back into the zoom for you guys. That's the options you have. So I had been making this pass to Spinazzola throughout this game, and he went to cover it. He knew that was a threat. That's how I've been getting through. At this point, I was like, okay, he's going to cover that. Now that gives me some space. Obviously, he couldn't cover there. He went to cover the centre back, gave Tammy some room for opportunity. Playing little balls back through, and then it's a very simple pass into Tammy Abraham, little flare finish. Just really nice, but it shows how with being able to get these fullbacks forward with 3 key attackers and then a centre mid getting forward, there's quite a lot you can do with this formation. This here is, I don't think there's much in this to highlight, but I just want to show you guys the defensive sort of setup you're working with. You can see I think my team are still in the middle of switching positions here as Ansaldi's moving across. Torreira, though, the DM's fine, so you've got your back 4, Brahim there on the left, Milinkovic-Savic here. Torreira wins the ball. What you will want is why I feel like changing to Tonali rather than Torreira in the system would be better. He does get involved a lot. Now he's 5-star skill moves, which helps a lot, and 3-star weak foot, so it's okay. But if you have like a high defensive, medium attacking work group player here, who is like, we'll say hooligan gang, with like 80s across the board minimum, it can work really nicely for you. So he had a bit of a pause there just to give him a fullback's time to get more involved. And again, Saldi's making a run on the far left for me, which will get the ball into him here. And then there's a really good opportunity. It just unfortunately didn't work out. But again, it just shows how the fullbacks can get involved. Again, here I just want to showcase the breakaway. We're not playing press after possession loss. We're not playing fast build up. It's an idea of how the team, when they do get the ball back, how quickly you can attack and get a good position. So obviously, Saldi's our left back in this case. Brahim, who is our attacking centre mid, he does come into the space and it's fine. You can work out quite nicely. Without the system set up, you get a good lot of opportunities. Your left forward's happy to make a run there on the get forward. You see Mkhitaryan trying to get into the box at the far post. Here I aimed for. And then you do have Torreira, who I'm saying, that's where maybe if you have someone who's got a 4-star, maybe a 5-star weak foot, that is a defensive midfielder, but has better shooting, maybe you get an opportunity from that, because in the build up they're happy to get forward and get involved. Again, we've got another bit of build up for you guys, and this is where the gameplay will end after this. Win the ball back, Puskas there is a forward. Tammy Abraham again, eager to make a run. A little bit lucky here. Tammy stopped his run, then went for it again. Puskas again gets in position. A lot of little passes, as I was saying. Little chip balls through to Brahim, and then just knock it back from Mkhitaryan, and it's goal. So you can see how the team works defensively and also offensively, and that's all the gameplay there. So hopefully you found this video useful. I have been trying to break it up into 2 segments. You get the sort of the instructions and the tactics and everything you need to know in that regard, and most people that's all they want. But I know some people have been requesting gameplay as well, which is why I'm trying to get anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes of different gameplay, and at least somewhat be of the detail for you guys, how it's offensively good and also the defensive structure. Offensive gameplay obviously very easy to get, just you score the goals, you capture the goals. I've tried to pull some good defensive moments as well for you. So if you did enjoy it, please leave a thumbs up, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, as I said at the start of the video, hit that subscribe button, just helps me on this content journey. That's everything for today. I might have a double upload depending on the icon swaps batch thing. That's very much up in the air, and I'm waiting to find out on the content drop. So if we do get swaps to information, I'll have that video up, and if not, it might be Thursday for the squad building video. But guys, as I said, join the Discord, keep up to date with everything. You can follow me on Twitter too, so I post a lot of updates. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next one. Goodbye.